c'est le lundi 30 mars. So today I'll start with some announcements. We'll then review the vocabulary of the unit. We'll take a break and then I'll come back and we can go through negation a little bit and I'll let you know what I'd like you to do for Wednesday. Okay. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you had I wanted to go through and check in a little bit, talk about end of quarter work, and then kind of remind you of the tips for success going into this after spring break. So first off, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good spring break. It's a weird time, and so maybe it was a weird spring break, different from a normal one for you. I know it was for us here. Um, I hope you're finding a good rhythm and you're keeping in touch with your friends. Maybe you're doing more FaceTime, maybe you're doing more Skype calls or something with your friends. But that's a really important part right now, is not necessarily social distancing, but physical distancing, and then socially keeping in touch with friends. Um, and then now, as we kind of get back into the rhythm, I hope we give you the structure you need to really succeed for this quarter four. It's definitely going to be a very different quarter four from what we normally would do, but I know that Miss Punzel and I and the rest of your teachers are working really, really hard to give you what you need so that you can succeed for quarter four. Despite all this, right? Despite this strange situation of home quarantine and things like that. So just real quick, I had initially planned to do Google Hangouts or Zoom video conferencing for office hours so that you could see me and I could see you and we could check in and have a more organic discussion and question and answer. We won't be doing that. So the district decided, kind of in the interest of everybody's best interest, to not do that kind of stuff. That said, I'll try to do a video once a week of just me. Maybe that sounds great to you. Maybe you couldn't care less. But I know that for me, it's been really helpful seeing my friends' faces. And maybe seeing your teachers' faces will help a little bit with just that sense of kind of regularity. Again, this is a weird time, and it can help to see each other, even if it's not in real life. So I'll still have office hours from 10 to 11. That just means I'll be right by my email, ready to respond right away. If you have questions that are best answered in person, though, there are many questions like that where it's like, I could send it in an email, but it would really help to talk in person. We can call. We can set up a time to call. So you can email me and we can set up a time to call or something like that. That's totally fine. The quarter has ended. Today is the last day. It's the end of quarter three. Grades, I'll be turning in grades April 7th. So that means late work should be turned into me by midnight on Friday, April 3rd. So please check in with Power School, see if you're missing anything. And if there isn't anything that's been collected or graded or something, this is a good time to kind of check in and get that taken care of so that you can get the best grade you can. And I'm happy this is a great thing to email about, to contact me about if you have questions. So again, the tips for success, I kind of shared these with you before spring break, but now we're really going to try to get into a regular rhythm. And so these will really kind of come into play right now. So one of the things I said was make a weekly schedule and stick to it. Maybe you work best in the morning. Maybe mornings are better to kind of chill and hang out. Or maybe you have a little brother or sister that you really need to help in the morning. And so maybe then in the afternoon you need to do that work, right? So finding a schedule that works for you, and then also asking your friends to calling them in. Hey, I need your help. Can you please help me, hold me accountable, check in with me, right? And check in with each other. And if you're able to do this, it'll help you keep up with the work. It's easy when we're not checking in person, and I'm not able to kind of stop in the middle of class and check in with you. It'll be easy to fall behind, and having this weekly schedule and sticking to it will be really helpful to not falling behind in your classes and then having this kind of being overwhelmed by makeup work. Asking for help. Really reaching out to your other teachers and fellow students with questions. this is the best time to start working on that. This doesn't come easily for me. I know that I personally could do better at asking for help from people, and this is a really great skill to develop. And so I really want to encourage you to spend some time working on this during this fourth quarter, really reaching out and not being afraid to ask for help. And then being open to adaptation and trying new things. This is all kind of new, so it's not going to look the same as anything we've done before. So it might look similar to what we did before spring break, but other than that, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to try to be as consistent as I can, but it's a different approach to teaching and a different approach to learning, and so we're going to have to learn together and kind of make that shift together. Okay, so let's jump in and do some vocabulary work before a break. Donc, révision vocabulaire. So if you remember, the vocabulary of this unit was sports. Okay? Donc, le hockey. Le hockey. Le patinage artistique. La lutte. La planche à neige. Le tir à l'arc. And you'll notice a lot of these, except for maybe hockey, are kind of individual sports, right? Le golf. Le karaté. Le ski ou le ski alpin. Le cyclisme. La boxe. Le tennis. La gymnastique. Le volleyball, le volley. Le football, le foot. Le yoga. Le basketball ou le basket. Et puis, la natation. La natation. Okay. And so with these verbs, with these different vocabulary words, we're going to use jouer à or faire de. So generally, if you remember, we use faire de to talk about like individual or team sports, whereas jouer à, to play, is kind of to play team sports or Olympic or like board games, right? So faire de and jouer à. And remember, with de, if you're saying de, I don't know, la gymnastique, great. But if you're saying de karaté, you're going to say de le karaté? Non, it's going to be du karaté, de la gymnastique, ou des, je ne sais pas, I don't know, we don't have a great plural for that. But remember, there are these contractions with de. And same thing with a. Anyways, so je fais de la boxe. Je fais de la boxe. And same thing with a, right? Where jouer à. It's not going to jouer à le foot. It's going to be jouer au foot. Jouer à la pétanque. Jouer aux échecs. So, par exemple, je joue au basket. Je joue au basket. Donc, tu fais de la gymnastique. Tu fais du karaté. Tu fais, you remember Blanche-Neige? Tu fais de la planche à neige. Tu fais du yoga, right? So it's not de le yoga, it's du yoga. And then here, for jouer, nous jouons au football ou au foot. Nous jouons aux échecs. Nous jouons aux échecs. Nous jouons au hockey. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll work on some negation.